Hey guys, so it's a rainy day here in Minnesota, so I thought I would take a little time and just spool up a couple of my reels here, getting ready for catfishing season. So I picked up a spool, this Suffix 832 in 80 pound. I've used Suffix for the last, I don't know, 7 or 8 years, and I really like it. Other people use braid lines such as Spider Wire and Power Pro or whatever, and I've just always had good luck with Suffix, so I just have stuck with it, and it's treated me well. So anyways, what I wanted to do here quick is just show you, a lot of people just buy, like a spool 150 yards, like for each reel, or 100 yards, wherever the spool comes in. If you look at the prices, I mean, the braid is not cheap. You spend a lot of money respooling these reels. So what I like to do is I kind of buy the bigger spools, say 300 or 500, even 1,000 yards, and you can save a little bit of money doing that. The problem is, what happens is you don't exactly know how much line you're putting on the reel, and it's fine if you have a 1,000-yard spool. You can just put on however much on the spool until you fill up the spool. But in this case, I have this 300-yard spool, and I want to put equal amounts on each reel. I'm going to spool up 2 reels, and again, you could easily follow the amount of spool as you're spooling it on to see if you're doing it equally. But you could end up with a lot more on one and less on the other, just eyeballing it from spool to spool. So you could put a line counter on, I guess. That would also be a way to do it equally. But one way to do it is you can just use a little bit of math. And what I found is these 2 reels I have, which are a Shimano Takota's 600. If you look at the specs, it says it's 25 inches per turn. So all you have to do is do the conversion from inches into yards, and you can figure out how many turns for each handle or each reel to do it equally on each reel. And it's kind of, I know it's a little nerdy putting it equal, but like I said, it's raining, I'm bored, nothing better to do. So what I'm going to do is I'll do the conversion, and I think just off the top of my head, it's around 200 turns for each reel to get 150 yards on each reel. So I'm just going to go ahead and we'll see what happens. Alright, so I got this reel stripped here, and I just wanted to show you real quick. What I do is I fill a spool up about a third to a halfway with monofilament, just to use as a filler. There's no need for 300 yards of braid for the catfishing I do, so I'll just put 150 yards on here and fill the rest with monofilament. You want your spool as filled as you can. It's just going to make for easier casting. You can just spool the braid on here directly and not have the spool filled, but it's going to cast better with a full spool, so I just use a mono for a filler there. So I know this is going to be really hard to see, but what I do to attach the mono to the braid is use an Albright knot. So to do that, you just make a loop with the monofilament here, and put the braid through the loop, pull the tag in through, and just wrap it around that loop you made. I don't know, 7 or 8 or 9 times. And I've always found that if you make the loop with the mono, that seems to work better. I know some people make the loop with a braid, but this seems to work better. It seems once you got it wrapped around there, then put it back through the loop the same way you came. And then pull it tight. There you go. And then cut your tag ends off. And then there's your knot. Probably not going to be able to focus on that, but anyways, so yeah, that's how I attach the mono to the braid. So now all we have to do is spool this up. Okay, so this Takota 600 here is 25 inches per turn, which means That's 0.69444 yards per turn. So now we just have to do the calculation to see how many turns we need for 150 yards. Okay, so according to my calculations, we'll have to do 216 turns to put 150 yards on this reel. It's going to vary a little bit because the larger the diameter the spool gets, the more line it's going to spool on there, but it'll be close. So let's do 216 turns and see where we're at. Alright, so there's the braid. Hit the spool there, so we're going to do 216 turns now. So there's 50 right there. There's 100. There's 150. There's 200. So we just got to do 16 more turns. There we go. That should be 150 yards. And you can see it's not fully full all the way. So I probably could have had a little more mono on there to make it completely full, but I think that'll be alright. So let's cut this off and we'll do the next one and we'll see how we did. Alright, so I got this second reel all ready to go here. If my calculations were right, we should get 216 turns remaining on this spool, and hopefully there's 150 on each one. Let's see what happens. Okay, so here comes the braid, just entered. So, should be able to 216 from here. There's 100. There's 200. Let's see where we're at here. Looks like that spool's getting kind of low. We'll see if we can get 16 out of it. There's 216. So we still have some line left. We're going to see how much difference we have. Looks like I might get another 15 or so turns out of here. Well, there's 250, so that spool's getting pretty full. At any rate, I have two full spools here of new Suffix 832, and I'm ready for some catfishing. So yeah, I hope this video was somewhat helpful. I don't know if it was or not, but at any rate, if you're looking for a fun catch and release catfish contest, be sure to check out kingofthecats.org. It's just a fun contest we've been doing here for I don't know, 7 or 8 years. You catch a fish, you measure it, you enter it, and then you get points for how many inches for the length and girth, and your top 3 fish are added up, and whoever has the top score at the end wins. So check it out, kingofthecats.org. There's a Facebook site also for King of the Cats, and I'll see you on the water.